Right now at noon, early July rains bring hope to Kansas farmers.
Tracking the chances for storms this weekend, I'll have the timeline coming up.
And the latest jobs report shows employment is up, but hiring is slowing down. What that means for the economy overall.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Chances for rain continue through the weekend, and farmers here in the 4 states and further west across Kansas hope that means an end to the drought. This is KOAM News at Noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, Kansas farmers say this week's rains are leading us in the right direction. And while the moisture now is too late for this year's wheat crop, it's coming at a great time for corn. Most of the state's crop is in its early reproductive stages, which is the plant's highest demand for water. Now, extension agents warn, though, too much at once can be counterproductive. The timing is key.
The big thing is timeliness of when it comes. So if we get a big event like this, we're going to have some runoff. So all of the rain that we got through this isn't going to be recognized. The potential of it's not going to be recognized. If we could get an inch of rain a week until we got to harvest, I think we'd be sitting pretty.
Farmers and extension agents both agree while the rain now is promising, we'll have to wait for fall to find out. Well, let it rain, I say. If anything, it's helping to bring the temperatures down. Chloe Arroyo is in for Chris today with a first look at the forecast.
Yes, well, rain chances will persist this weekend. Now, is it enough for the drought to completely heal completely? That's unfortunately not the case, but we'll see a little bit of relief heading into this weekend. Here's what we're tracking right now. The Skywatch Storm Tracker, a couple scattered showers entering into the picture. This really, as it passed I-35 and moved east, it just fell apart completely in south central Kansas, and that's what we'll continue to see. So very isolated chances for showers heading into this afternoon. Before we get into the later evening hours, we'll see a pretty strong chance for some scattered showers and storms, and some of which could be strong to severe. Temperatures right now hanging around in the lower 80s. Carthage and Joplin 84, Stockton 85, Fort Scott you're at 82. Folks off to the west a little further are still in the 70s, 77 for Sedan. That's because they saw a little bit of that rainfall that's cooling us down quite a bit. Now, the storm system that we had earlier moved a lot further south than we were anticipating, which pushed a lot of the heavier bands of rain out of the way, but we'll still see that rainfall heading into tonight. Planning out your afternoon, we've got temperatures rising up into the upper 80s, so not too hot compared to what we have been seeing. 87 for your high today. We'll have isolated showers this afternoon, and then we'll see the more widespread chances for strong to severe storms heading into this weekend. Coming up in a bit, we'll talk about the specific timeline on that, as well as when we'll see the chance for some hotter temperatures later on this week. That's all coming up in a bit.
All right, thanks, Chloe. Well, Newton County Fair is underway in Neosho, Missouri. From beef and goat shows to live music and food vendors, there's something for everyone. The fair kicked off Wednesday and runs through Saturday. Today started early for those prepping their livestock in hopes of earning grand champion in the ring. And for many participants, it's become a family affair.
I've been going to the fair my entire life. My family and I grew up showing, and then my husband was the same way, and then our families have stayed involved throughout the years, and now our kids are showing.
Remains strong, but hiring is slowing down. Natalie Brand has the results of a new report.
17-year-old Hadley Boggs is now part of the workforce. She got her first ever summer job scooping ice cream.
I hope to save for college and also have some fun money on the side.
The economy continues to bring on workers, adding 209,000 jobs in June, a historically strong number, but less than expected. And revised data for May and April shows hiring was weaker than previously estimated. Still, the unemployment rate remains near an all-time low at 3.6%.
Is the job market slowing down?
The job market remains quite robust, but the pace of hiring is moderating.
Bankrate senior economist Mark Hamrick says workers are making more. Wages are up 4.4% over the past year, which is slightly higher than the annual rate of inflation.
It doesn't mean that workers feel like they're ready to high-five each other in the sense of having won the battle against inflation, but it means that that balance has somewhat shifted back more favorably to workers.
But when people have more money, they tend to spend more, which can fuel inflation, and that remains a major concern for the Federal Reserve.
Inflation, with the rates running well above the Fed's target of 2%, the Fed looks at that and says, oh, we still have more work to do.
Economists believe that means the Fed will raise interest rates again at the end of the month, hoping it brings inflation further down. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
The new report shows the healthcare industry brought on 41,000 jobs in June. Construction added 23,000 positions. Well, the U.S. is providing up to $800 million more in military aid to Ukraine. The newest infusion of weapons will include thousands of cluster munitions, which can hit multiple targets at once. Now, they're banned in more than 100 countries because of their potential harm to civilians. The Biden administration is expected to make an official announcement today. And thousands of thrill seekers, many from the U.S., are taking part in this year's first running of the bulls in Spain. The centuries-old tradition draws massive crowds, and already at least 6 people have been injured. CBS's Tina Kraus reports.
The bulls are back. And so are the crowds for the thrill of the chase in the Spanish city of Pamplona.
That cannon goes and people start running, and all of a sudden you're in a dead sprint.
Alec Levick flew in from the U.S. to join thousands of daredevils from all over the world at the annual Running of the Bulls.
People are falling, the bulls are running right past you. Those things are big. It's crazy.
As the 1,000-pound bulls charge through crowds on the narrow cobbled streets for more than half a mile, some, like Will Mojo from Austin, struggle to stay standing.
I came around the turn, my foot slipped, and I just ate it on the ground, and I found myself in the middle of the street.
At least 6 people were injured, but no one was gored. Activists have long protested the tradition, calling it cruelty to animals. The same bulls that run are later killed in the ring during professional bullfights. Friday's bull run signifies the start of the famous Festival of San Fermin, a 9-day party revelers call the best fiesta in the world. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Well, 4 runners were gored in the festival last year. 16 people have died in bull runs since 1910, most recently in 2009. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at Noon, Brittany's battle with an NBA bodyguard. And later, we're making a darn good corn salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, pop star Britney Spears files a police report after a security guard for an NBA star rookie allegedly slaps her in the face. Now, Spears is asking for a public apology. Bradley Blackburn has more.
Pop star Britney Spears and the NBA's #1 draft pick Victor Wembanyama were in the same Las Vegas hotel lobby Wednesday night. Spears says she wanted to congratulate him. She wrote on social media, quote, "So I tapped him on the shoulder. His security team then backhanded me in the face without looking back, nearly knocking me down and causing my glasses off my face."
First I was like, no, you're joking.
Yesterday, Wembanyama told reporters he had no idea it was Spears and never saw her face.
I didn't see what happened because I was walking straight and we told don't stop, but that person grabbed me from behind, not on my shoulder, she grabbed me from behind, and so I just know that the security pushed her away. I don't know with how much force though.
Spears says the incident is embarrassing and that all people should be treated with respect. In a statement to CBS News, Las Vegas police confirm officers responded to a battery incident in the area Wednesday night and said no arrests were made. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The San Antonio Spurs have not responded to a request for comment about their security guard. Still to come on the KOAM News at Noon, Mr. Food.
There's nothing better than sweet corn slathered with butter. Or is there? The sweet corn salad we're making today may have just what it takes to win you over.
Plus, we're tracking storm chances this weekend. I'll have the full breakdown and more coming up next. Well, here's an interesting tidbit of information for you. Just in the first 7 days of the month of July, we're just under 0.64 inches under the average rainfall for the month of July, and we still have 3 weeks to go. So hopefully we'll be above average, which is much needed for our area and for the ground itself. Here's a look at our Skywatch storm tracker. Speaking of that rainfall, we've got a chance for some scattered showers today and into the afternoon hours, none of which will be strong or severe at any point. Maybe some sprinkles here and there. Taking a closer look, it's often to our further western counties around the 8th Center, Fredonia, Howard, and even in the Sedan and Independence area. You guys are seeing those spotty showers and storms begin to ramp up into the area. But as they're pushing off to the east, basically after they pass the I-35 and eastward, that's where they're starting to decay quite a bit, and we're going to continue to see that into the afternoon hours before we see our next round of some isolated showers and storms into tonight. Here's a look at our drought monitor. We're still seeing those extreme ranges across the board. A look in Joplin and Carthage. We're seeing some moderate to severe areas, but over off to our west, Howard and Sedan, in that exceptional range. That is the highest it could get. That's all the way extending over by Wichita. So in a large area in Kansas, we're seeing those drier conditions. And when they stay this dry, it's actually really interesting to see the rainfall. If we see heavy rainfall immediately, sometimes it will cause a lot of flooding issues because it's harder to absorb if it's dry enough. And those are sometimes the cases that we're seeing. And we did see a couple of aerial flood warnings associated with that storm off to our west because of that earlier this morning. Now, temperatures right now hanging around into the 80s, lower 80s, and then into the 70s off to our west, where the folks out to the west have seen that rainfall. Sedan sitting at 77, Welch 83 degrees, Pittsburgh 83, Stockton, you're at 85, so just a hair warmer than the rest of the folks out there. Planning out your day, you're going to see temperatures rise up into the upper 80s. We've got 87 for our high today, so not as warm as what we saw last week in those triple-digit temperatures. So we'll see a break from those hotter temperatures until we head into later on next week. Here's your evening. We'll see temperatures dip down into the 60s. This is where those storm chances will begin to fire up around 10 p.m. on. So it might be a late night for a lot of folks, especially in the southern areas. Here's a look at our severe storm risk. This entire green area is a level 1 out of 5, and then the yellow area a little further south is a level 2 out of 5. Here are all modes possible, but very slight on that note. So timing 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. So an overnight, a very nocturnal event of storms. Some could be strong, some could be severe. That severe chance is pretty slight for the most part. Here's a look at your future track. We'll see some scattered showers and storms into the afternoon, basically the remnants of that large storm system that we see live on the Skywatch radar. And then into this evening, we'll see temperatures lower 80s, upper 70s, but then that's really when those storms will begin to ramp up, especially in northeastern Oklahoma and northwestern Arkansas. That's when it's going to be most prominent, a little further south, and then that'll push out by Saturday morning. We'll see some straggling storms, just remnants of that storm left over for the rest of our folks. And then Sunday morning, you could wake up to a couple of showers and storms as well. So an eventful weekend in terms of rainfall, but much needed rainfall for the most part. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We've got precipitation the next 3 days. Monday we'll see a little bit of a break, but then those temperatures will begin to ramp up at the end of next week, Thursday and Friday. We're looking at 99 degrees for both days, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit triple digits again, unfortunately.
Thinking back a week ago, yesterday and today, when we were over 100 degrees each day, not even with the heat index, and I'm loving this 87.
Right.
Loving it. Tomorrow, this weekend, it's going to be great.
It's going to be amazing, so we'll take it while we can until we get into those upper 90s.
Maybe we can have something happen before then.
Yes, let's hope there's some sort of change.
All right, thank you so much, Chloe.
Of course.
Well, stick around. We're making a darn good corn salad after the break. Well, today we're making a salad featuring the all-American favorite corn on the cob. Howard likes to call it a darn good corn salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If I had to name a best produce buy of the season, I'd probably have a pretty tough time. I mean between the colorful bell peppers, juicy homegrown tomatoes, and fresh corn on the cob, I'd have to declare it a tie, especially since all three of them are at rock bottom prices. So what do you say we whip up an easy salad that combines all of these into a summertime favorite? We start off by boiling some corn on the cob just until it's tender. Then we take it out of the pot and let it cool. Next, we chunk up a few tomatoes, a green pepper, and a couple of scallions. You want to make sure the tomatoes are ripe, yet still on the firm side. Now we cut the kernels off the cob with a corn stripper, or you could use a chef knife. Then we toss everything together along with a lemony vinaigrette. It's what makes this salad come to life. See, told you it was easy. And since peppers, corn, and tomatoes are all so abundant this time of year, you can make a boatload for next to nothing. It's so good you're going to want to. To get the recipe for what we call our darn good corn salad, which of course includes the recipe for the lemon dressing, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a summer fresh way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
I love fresh corn on the cob. You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
Well, we've got chances for storms heading into tonight, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Chances for some scattered showers to storms. Monday, however, we'll see a little bit of a break and then pop-up storms Tuesday through Friday before those temperatures skyrocket into the upper 90s, 99 for Thursday and Friday. Oof.
Not looking forward to another warm-up, but going to enjoy the weekend.
Yes,
All
for
right.
sure.
Well, coming up tonight at 5, preparing first responders for the worst. And Health Watch, a look at new virtual reality training for mass casualties. Plus, Joplin area residents and business owners have 1 week left to give input on homelessness that could help develop a strategic plan to address issues. And local artists network to find grant availability to expand their portfolios. Join us for those stories and much more tonight on the KOAM News at 5.
Well, thanks for joining us for the KOAM News at noon.
The rest of the team will see you right back here at 5 o'clock.